I think one of the greatest gifts and opportunities we have as leaders is to bring all the multitude of our identities to the work and the way we lead. For a while, I think I made some missteps compartmentalizing, not appreciating that actually the power of my leadership was integrating all of those very valuable pieces of me and modeling that for teams, for colleagues, for the communities in which I showed up in. And it made me a more authentic and powerful leader as well. Hi, I'm Alexis Ettinger. I am the Managing Director of Strategy at the Aspen Institute. Here's what's on my mind when I'm thinking about leadership. Really good leaders are able to hold two truths at one time. There might be two really good values, one that you hold, one that someone else holds. And what do you do when both those values are valid, but often in conflict? And the outcome might change from time to time, but what you're able to do is you're flexing this muscle that allows you to see that both things might be okay, and how do you help them coexist? So holding that space for that kind of decision making has been such an amazing leadership practice that I've carried with me and have learned from others. I think to be able to practice this leadership capacity, it all starts with being quite reflective yourself. You need to know yourself and have the self-knowledge to be able to know what you value so you can appreciate what someone else values as well. It means taking a pause sometimes. It means listening, and it means maybe doing the hard and difficult thing, which is changing your mind. So another thing that I think a lot about when it comes to leadership is not really centered on the leader, but is centered on leadership. Leadership is a process. It's not some anointed title that someone gives you and you automatically become a thing. And I love this framing because it really enables everyone to see themselves as a leader, which I truly believe is at the heart of how we need to see this to solve all the challenges that we are collectively facing. In my personal experience, it means I've been able to contextualize my leadership in different places, spaces, with different communities, different times, the way it's needed. My leadership is malleable, and it means that sometimes I'm not leading and I'm looking towards being a follower. Followership is just as important as leadership. Building trust is so important to the leadership journey that I've been on. Systems change, field building, moving the needle on things that are new and disruptive are really hard to do alone. And for that kind of large-scale change, you obviously need a coalition of actors with you. And that really only comes to life when you have the trust behind it in one another. And that is a give and take. You need to build trust, but you also have to have trust. And at first, that can be a slow process, but the payoff of that kind of deepening of true partnership is what we need if we're going to solve some of these intractable challenges. Trust is at an all-time low. We all know that. We can feel it in our own lives. And this crisis of trust is really hindering leadership at its core. And so leaders have to work so hard right now, not just to build the trust between their teams and with their colleagues and with their partners, but it's really about that trust magnifying into the institutions, the systems, and the structures that we're all trying to change.